Hello and welcome to yet another video of Probench How To series. So in this video, I'm going to cover how to add an admin user to Probench. And when I talk about admin users, it's like the managers, the Probench managers or analysts who are going to kind of analyze the company information and add their responses to it. So all those users who have access to some or the other screens on the backend of Probench and not specifically related to any companies are normally the admin users from Probench standpoint. So from Probench standpoint, the users, the types of users that can be the backend or administrator users is like the administrator, the response managers. So response managers can be the analyst or assessors, reviewers, third-party reviewers. So all these are the response managers. Then comes the reporting managers who have access to the data sets and things, data sets, feedback reports, etc. Survey managers who create surveys, create questionnaires, manage the timelines of the surveys, etc. And the read-only managers are someone who are kind of uh, just there to review things, can view the responses, but would not be able to change or modify any responses or submit a company's response or anything like that. So these are the various types of users that uh, can be called as an admin user from a Probench user standpoint or an backend user, so to say. Okay, so I'll just show you how you can add this user. So uh, this user can only be added by another admin user or another administrator user who has access to all the screens, and they are kind of a super user to Probench. Uh, so once login into the system, you will see this user management menu. Under the user management menu, you can click on login. Under the user management menu, you can click on administrators. And under the administrators, you will see the list of all the admin users you currently have in your system. Okay. And like if you want to add a new user, you will have to use the plus icon from here, and that would add a new user. You can search a new user from here, search an existing user from here. You can edit an existing user from by clicking on an edit link from here. Okay, so this is the edit screen. So for now, I'll just add a new user so that I can give you further information. So normally all the admin users, they have a username which is not their uh, regular email addresses. Uh, this is just to like differentiate it from the company users, because company users or the logins also have username as email addresses. So to keep it or differentiate them from the regular login users, we have maintained a nomenclature which says like first is the name of the company or our clients. Like in this case, I'm from 73-bit limited, so I'm like and if I want to create something of a user from 73-bit limited, so I'll create like 73-bit and backslash say use uh, test admin user, and then so this is what can be the username. So in your case, it would be your company short form or short name, backslash, and then the username or the first name of the user or last name of the user, whatever you prefer. Uh, the next is the field is the generate password. So like there are two ways to have passwords into the system. So one is like clicking on generate password. What will happen is this particular both these fields will get disabled. Uh, so so it will so when I say generate password, it would mean that system, whenever you end up creating this particular user, the system would automatically generate a password, a random password, and assign it to this particular user, so that you do not have to kind of send an email to the user after you create the user. So when I click on generate password, both these fields would be disabled. Okay, and if I untick it, then I'll be able to put the password that I want to put. So it depends whether you want to manually assign a password, or you want to assign a system generated password. So when I click on generate password, when I and click on create, it would also send an email to the user on the email address that I put here. So let's go to the next step, and that is hello at 73bit.com. That's the user, and then I'll mention it as test admin user, and test last name. Okay, so this is the user I created. The next is the security rules that you want to assign to the users. Okay, so there are various security rules, and based on what you select or what role you give to the users, they would be able to see those specific menu items on Probench. So to get into the details of which role would see which menu items, you can refer to this particular link here, which would take you to the documentation, which would suggest you like what is the type of role, what that role does, and what are the screens, or what are the menu items that would be available to them or accessible to them. Okay, so use this link to know more about it. So for now, I'm creating this user and I want that user to be a response manager. So I'll select response manager, and if there are any comments, you can add the comments, but uh, it depends. And then you click on create. So what this will do is, because I have created and updated, it would send an email directly to my mailbox, okay, which is currently closed, but it would give me the username and password uh, that I have assigned to the user. Okay, so that is what. Uh, so yeah, so this is how you basically create an administrator user. So now, if you want to give an additional responsibility to this user and make it this user as an administrator, then I'll just make it as an administrator, remove the previous role, and click on update. Okay, so this would then uh, create user, means change the security rules of this user to administrator. Okay, uh, so this is what is the basic way of doing it. So if you want to manually assign it, then do not select this and manually assign the passwords, but that would not send the email as well to the user. To send the email, you will have to then send them personally, like through your email box, if you want to send an email. Okay, so this is the thing. So the next I would like to cover in this video is the regular FAQs that we have. So so the sorry. So the first FAQs that we have is like, can the passwords be auto-generated at the time of user creation? So as I mentioned, yes, it can be. So you click on this box and then click on create, or you click on this box and then you click on update. An email would be sent to the user with their credentials. So can I provide a password to user manually? Again, the thing is yes. So if you don't want to use a default generate password, then you can just mention whatever password that you want to send. So password field would have the password that you want, and then there is a confirm password where you need to enter the same password. So this is to just recheck what password that you have provided, so that there is no confusion at the later end. The next question is, what are the different roles I can set and what can each of these roles access? So so these are all the roles that are part of the system. And to go into the details of each of the roles, you can like click on that link, which would take you to the individual security roles, where there is an explanation of what that user does, and what are the menu items that are available to them or accessible to them. How can I deactivate an admin user? So to deactivate an admin user, you just there is a field called as active. So you just untick that field and click on update. So this would deactivate the admin users. Okay. I'm not able to log into the system. What can be the cause? So if an admin user complains that the user is not able to log into the system, so there may be a couple of problems. One is they are entering a incorrect password. Uh, so you'll have to give them a new password, or click on generate password and send the password again. The another reason can be that they have kind of uh, they have given enough attempts of incorrect password, the failed password attempts. So if this failed password attempts goes above 5, then the system locks this particular user, and you will see a true here, okay, instead of false if a user is locked. Okay, and you'll also see a button here uh, when when the user is locked, to unlock that particular user. So you'll have to click on that unlock button and click on update. That would basically unlock that user, and they can use the old password if they remember, but if they do not remember, you can reassign the password. But just by reassigning the password or generating a new password, the a logged user won't be unlocked, because you will have to click on an unlock button here, which would appear. So make sure either the password given is they are entering is correct, or they are not locked, in case they are not able to log in. Or there are like another one reason that we have often found is, instead of backslash, the users tend to use front slash instead of a backslash. So that can be another reason for why they are not able to log in to the system. Where can I see the logs of when a user and user is logged in? So the logs is at the bottom. So here you will see the last activity, on what date did they do the last activity, when they were created, when did they last log in, when did they change their password or when it was changed, when did they log out, how many failed attempts they have done. So these are all the things that you would get in this particular log. So uh, so yeah, these are the few questions that we have got from our users. In case there are more questions, please send an email to support@73bit.com, and we'll record another such video to answer your questions. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for listening. Bye bye. Have a great day.